Hello everybody and welcome to Astra Lost in Space episode 3. Episode 3, anime review. We're 3 episodes in now and I can honestly say I was not expecting this show to be as good as it is and as enjoyable as it is. It's probably one of my favourite things this season. And I think that's actually a fair thing to say. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, considering I didn't see like a massive amount of hype for it. There's a little bit obviously, but like it wasn't in like the top echelon of hype things. But it's been very good, I think, anyway. Can't wait for everyone to disagree with me, as people typically do. But anyway, let's crack on with the episode as always, and we'll see what happened this week. Some stuff happened, that's for sure. So the episode begins with Kanata like freaking out, well not freaking out, he's playing Sherlock Holmes, trying to figure out who wrecked the communicator. He's like, was it you? Was it you? And he goes through like everyone. Takes a lot of time to do this, and I haven't made individual notes for all of them. But basically, he's investigating everyone. Yeah. But then at the end, runs into Olgar, who is the guy with the hair covering his eye, like every teenage boy ever. I was a teenager once, I know. Yeah, he's all being lonerish. He comes out of the, I think it's the storage shed or storage compartment, storage area with a flipping briefcase. We don't see what's in the briefcase at this point though. We do later on though, so we'll get there. And then, while he's in his room, he's like, I can't decide who it is, so I'm just going to shelve the investigation. What? No, you don't shelve the investigation. That's an important thing. Like, you figure out who it is. That's important to your survival. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I thought that was a bit silly, deciding to shelve the investigation, honestly. There was... Because if they're going to keep breaking things, obviously, because obviously they're not friendly, why would you shelve that? That's something you need to find out pretty quick, I think, anyway. So yeah, they approach the planet, and instead of focusing on that, you know, landing and that, they decide, well, they're just around the table having a little chat, basically, talking about their backstories and about what they used to do as a kid and all that other stuff. Funi, though, has she goes through, we get an actual flashback for her backstory, so you know it's important. So it's about when she got adopted, or when she found out she was being adopted. The man in shades said, put her on B5. B5 is, you know, they didn't know what that meant, but now they do, because that's the group, their like team name. You know, their field trip name is B5, so they're all together, and so they've come to the conclusion from this that they were all chosen specifically for this group to be killed. So I'm not going to say they're wrong, but they've jumped a mighty few like hoops. I feel like they might have the wrong idea, because there's too much like external variables for it to be, you know, for sure. But I could be wrong. I've not read the light novel or anything. So then we find out Olga's dad is the vice principal, so now he's like too suspicious now. So now I don't think it's him. I said last week I think it was probably him was the traitor, but now that just seems too obvious. So but then after the end of the episode, I don't know what to think, because we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, then Kanata tells everybody about the communicator. The worst possible point to name it, by the way, because now everyone's distrusting of each other and like suspecting one another of who could it be, who's the traitor. Like, you picked the absolute wrong time to mention that, mate. But yeah, then they have lunch after that massive disagreement they had. They just have lunch, it's fine. And then they talk more. They were like, how is the killer going to get home? Well, they couldn't get home, so is this a suicide attack? The killer's going to kill every one of them themselves? That's kind of where they get to. And they're like, okay, so the killer is still going to continue this plan to kill us all, so we need to be extra vigilant and careful. And then there's an explosion to cut them off out of nowhere. So yeah, I mean, and that's one way to get back on track and get the teamwork back together, is an explosion. So this explosion, caused by a meteorite, or a small meteorite, I think they call it a meteoroid, which I guess is just a small meteorite, I guess. That causes a lot of stuff to not work properly. There's holes in the ship now. There's the gravity controls will stop working. A lot of things aren't working properly. So they're like, let's work together. Teamwork will make the dream work and all that. So they glue gun the hole, because the one that I thought was a girl but is actually a boy had a glue gun, which I guess that's fine. Gravity controls have been damaged, so they got to fix that. And then out of nowhere, they're close enough to the planet where they're getting pulled in by its gravity. So they've got, I think he said 8 minutes before they crash and explode. Like in, there's like a Minecraft mod where you go to the moon. Like that. Why is that the first thing that came into my head? I don't even know what it's called. I've just seen pictures and videos. Yeah, so basically, they're screwed. My note just says they're screwed. So that's the end of the series. They crash, everyone dies. Mission failed, we'll get him next time, Chief. No, it's not actually what happens. REA's found the backup generator, and Kanata gives everyone their jobs. But then, the shy one, whose name I've written down, Yunhua, starts drowning because there's like water in the air and she just... And because it's zero gravity, it's just stuck in her throat. I thought that was quite interesting, at least. It was like, you don't see people drown like that often. But then they save her. While that's happening, we get a little flashback of, I guess it's her mum, telling her she's useless and can't do anything right. And I'm like, that's not nice. So, at some point, we're going to further explore that, I imagine. So yeah, they save her. Then they connect the power, like they got a bunch of extension cables and they're just boop, 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 connecting them all. But then they can't turn the gravity back on because there's just a bird. Well, they called it a bird. It wasn't a bird. It was an abomination. But, you know, an abomination bird is flying around and safety measures, like, no, you can't be doing that. So then Olgar shoots it with the glue gun. So he's just murdered a poor bird. I assume it's dead now. But, you know, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Then they land safely. Everything's going well. Olgar goes back to his room, though, and he's brought a gun. Not like a glue gun. A pistol gun. A bullet gun. So, yeah, I don't know. Is he the traitor? I mean, again, it seems really obvious, doesn't it? Maybe he brought the gun for separate reasons. What I'm thinking is he might be the traitor, and he was just going to kill them on the planet regularly, and then the sphere was, like, not part of the plan. Like, that was just something that happened, but he was going to kill them all anyway, and then himself for some reason. Maybe so the current principal would get fired, and then the vice principal could take over. That seems such a lame reason if that's true, though. I haven't figured out my reasoning yet, but like I feel like that's a possibility. That, or he's not a criminal at all. He's just a nice guy with a gun. You know, there's a lot of them. But yeah, he said he was self-taught with the gun too, so maybe he's acting independent? I have no idea. I'm literally just theorizing right now. That's what this has turned into. It's turned into an anime theory video. Let's do it. Let's get 1 million... No, let's not do that. Yeah, so I enjoyed this episode a lot. I liked the teamwork, making the dream work. I said that joke already. I'll say it again. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the teamwork was good. I still don't know who the traitor is. Like I said, Olgar seems too obvious. He's too suspicious from what we've seen. But then, I don't think it could be anyone else. I don't know. Let me know who you think the traitor is, assuming you don't know. If you've read the light novel, obviously don't post it, because that's a spoiler, and I'll ban you. But, yeah. I think I'm very much enjoying this show. I'm glad I watched it. I almost didn't watch it. This was a last minute addition by me, so I'm glad I'm watching it. Well, let me know what you thought about the episode and everything. And I'll see you next week in the same place. Bye, guys.